Cool. All right, thank you, sir. Oh yeah, he's got a sign for it. What? You got a sign for it.
Me?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Print your name here. Give me your initials by those two extras.
It's your copy there, buddy.
Enjoy.
All right, thank you, sir. Appreciate it. Have a good weekend. All right. All right, buddy. Let's go get this thing in the shop. So if you check out the specs on their website, it says that it's fully assembled, and all you need to do is clamp up the handlebars, charge it up, and it's supposed to be good to go. So there's a couple little things that we do, like to check the balance of the battery charge, because there's three 12 volt, 12 amp hour batteries in series, and if you just charge them up and they're different balances, you're going to shorten the lifespan of the battery. So we're going to go over that and show you guys how to check the voltage and then also balance them separately, and then from then on you should be able to plug it in and be good to go. Alright, so here it is in the box. It sure looks like it's fully assembled. It's very well packaged. Even on the decals they put some protective coating on here. Looks like transfer paper. So what we're going to do is we're going to open up the end of the box and drive it off. Come in over here, check it out. So what do we got in here? We got a box of goodies. So in the box, we've got the handlebar clamps. We've got a bag of tools, looks like spare keys, some Allen wrenches, zip ties, and a couple extra fuses. So that's the rest of the clamp and the bolts and the smart charger. So let's check this out. What are the specs on this guy? So it's a 36 volt 1.6 amp charger and the owner's manual. So right here they're just talking about charging the battery 6 to 8 hours or until the light on the charger turns from red to green. So once we roll this out, that's the first thing we're going to do is start charging it and put the handlebars on. Of course, the good old safety warnings. Basically, if your kid's a bad driver, this might be a little bit too much for him, but this does have some really cool options. Getting to know your electric mini quad. Basically, find your model, and it looks like it's this one right here. Plastic cover, front shocks, handbrake, rear tires. Yeah, just goes over the instructions. It's pretty basic, stopping and braking. To brake, release the throttle grip and depress the brake lever. It's got a twist throttle, I believe. And it just talks, it's got disc brakes. Ooh, I'm liking this. It's got 2 disc brakes on the front, and then it's going to have 1 on the axle in the back. And we'll go through it and make sure we got good air pressure, the brakes are working, not rubbing, blah, blah, blah. All right, enough of that. Let's get this thing out of the box. Just roll this guy out. Okay, so here's a quick comparison. We rolled the Razor brand next to the Big Toys Green Country quad, and they're very similar in size. Same, looks like same tire height. These are a little bit more aggressive tires, and they actually do have another option on their website for $100 extra. You can get mud terrain tires. They're like a V pattern. So what we're going to do is just take off all the plastic wrapping now, and I'm going to get a cord and start charging the battery and get the handlebars installed. And then, okay, so we're getting acquainted with our new Big Toys quad here, and here's the battery pack. It's 3 12-volt batteries inside this nylon bag, and here's the charge port on the frame, and then here's the fuse holder, and it's missing the fuse. So obviously you've got to put a fuse in there to make this work. But what we're going to do is we're going to back off these nuts. That's the battery hold down that keeps all the batteries in place. And what I want to do is get a voltmeter and test each battery and find out what voltage they're at, if they're balanced, and the level of discharge. 13.2 volts is a fully charged battery, and hopefully these are pretty close to that so we can ride this right away. Okay, so we're going to be removing the battery cover, and what you're going to need is a 10mm wrench, and it's a 5mm Allen. So what we're going to do is remove this hold down connector. Okay, so right here you can see the series wiring, and how series works is they daisy chain. So we've got the positive going out to the speed controller, and then the black and the red of the next battery, they connect, same thing, connect, and then the black out of the last one is the one that goes up to the speed controller. So that makes the 3 12-volt batteries a 36-volt battery. So I'm going to grab my voltmeter and check the voltage on those. Alright, we got the old voltmeter set up, and we're going to just go through and check each battery. First one, 13.2, bingo! Second one, 13.2, bingo! Last battery, dun, 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 13.2. My hand's in the way. That really does not get any better than that. So A, it's telling me that these batteries are all perfectly balanced and they're already charged up. We're going to still throw it on the battery charger and see how long that goes. And charger plugged in. We're going to line up the little slot inside the charge port. Can't quite tell where it is, so got it plugged in, and it flickered red, but then it went right to green. So basically we've got a fully charged up battery. The good news is on that, we don't have to wait. Let's put this thing together. Okay, so we're going to put the handlebars on. It's a 2-piece clamp, or technically 4, but this is the bottom that rests on there. And then you sandwich the handlebars in between it. So I'm going to go ahead and get that lined up. Like so. So it would be nice to have an extra hand. Hint, hint. If you could hold those handlebars, that'd be sweet. And it does come with wrenches in the kit, but we're going to use power tools. So you want to hop on there and see what looks comfortable. Something like that? Yeah. Yeah? Yeah? Is that tight? Mm-hmm. All right, we got. Looks like we got a few more decals to remove. And so the keys are right here. I think this is for the actual keyed ignition. We got to put a fuse in it. That's the next thing So you're going to take your fuse, and there's this red fuse holder down here. So you're going to pop a fuse in there. Whoa. And you do get a spark, and that is normal. You didn't fry anything. It's just an instant surge of power. Okay, so one of the cool features on this quad, it actually has 3 speed settings depending on the kid's age and ability level. And it's got separate key for that. So the one for the ignition, they can't just put it in here and hit the boost button. They actually, this is like a parent or valet setting. So what we're gonna do is put the keys in, and I'm gonna guess that the shift speed is the low speed. We're going to turn it on. We've got full max charge. We're going to hit the twist. Okay, we're going to hit the 1 click. Let's see if it goes any faster. A little bit faster. And this is the Go Baby Go setting, I think. Okay, well, we've got future racing superstars here, so we're going to leave it in the high speed 15 mile an hour. Take the keys out and put those away with the manual. All right, so we got the Big Toys Green Country 36 volt quad, monster quad that is, all assembled. It was super easy to assemble. All you had to do was mount the handlebars, install the fuse, and the one adjustment that we did make, we took off the rear axle cover because when we had it jacked up testing the different speed settings, the chain was just a little bit too tight. We set up racing carts, and you want a little bit of deflection in your chain, and this sprocket, let's just say it's not precision, and we're going to look into see if we can get a aftermarket one. We did promise them that we're not going to do any crazy electrical mods, and that's fine because 15 miles an hour, we already get in trouble in the pits as it is with our 48 volt razor. So what it is this sprocket is just not perfectly machined. It's a stamped sprocket, and in one spot it was catching, it's a little bit oblong, so it was binding the chain. We might have done it too much, and this is where you adjust the axle. So we might have to tighten it up just a little bit so that we don't have any chain slop. But you can see how much chain movement you have here. But if you get to where it's out of bind, it's really tight still. So we took out as much as we felt would be the limit so that you're not basically drawing heavily on this motor. It's just going to shorten your battery life. The chain will stretch a little bit over time. So what we're going to do is we're probably going to look for a new sprocket that's machined aluminum. So that was the only negative. So back to the operation of this big guy. So what we've got is a twist throttle. We've got front brakes here on this side, rear brakes. And when you turn the key on, it shows the battery indicator. And this right here is going to be your forward and reverse. There's reverse and forward. Twist that down. And then on this side is a latching button that does your lights. So it's got some built-in headlights here, which is kind of sad because that's what we like to add. But hey, they're already installed from the factory. That is awesome. So overall, the build quality of this thing is awesome. We're going to do a test drive now, and as we were assembling this thing, there was an epiphany. These boys are into Fortnite, and there's, what's it called? What's it called?
A quad crasher. A quad crasher.
I guess they want to turn this into a quad crasher. So I need to do some research and find out what the heck a quad crasher is. So guys, stay tuned. It's freezing cold outside, but we are going to do a test drive. Okay, so here it is. Me and the monkeys got the old Go Bowen Big Toys Green Country quad put together. And here is the overview and my first impressions. So overall, fit and finish is excellent. I like how they packaged it. They took care of the stickers. Assembly really couldn't be easier. For you guys that maybe skip past that, all we had to do was install the handlebars via the 2 clamps, install a fuse, and fire it up. What we also did is check the batteries, and they were absolutely perfect. 3 batteries at 13.2 volts, top notch. So let me show you the features before I get into the one and only little negative that I think could be improved upon. Okay, so here is the operation of it. To turn it on, there's the key ignition right here, and it does have to stay in there, and ideally I wouldn't have it sticking out the kid's knee. Why don't you come over here and I'll show you what I mean. Now this is marketed as off-road, so you can kind of see there is potential for that key to get bent, damaged, broken, whatever, you know, kids hitting a bump or whatever. Okay, go ahead and hop off. All right, so the keys, when I put them, I'm going to show you, this is our pit vehicle, and I'm going to do a product comparison video next. I don't want to mix it up with this, but see where I put the key up on top, out of the way. So the key, it's a little bit in maybe an awkward spot. I think that they could have put it here, but I understand that throwing your leg over could get it damaged too. I don't know. So once you got it turned on, you're going to see that it has a twist throttle with a battery indicator. Okay, and below the battery indicator, this is your forward and reverse button. And on this handlebar is the lights. So you push that in, got lights, which is cool because this is all stuff we had to add to our pit vehicle. So I love that. Okay, so and over here we already adjusted it. This is the speed controller, depending on your kid's skill level. It comes with a separate set of keys that you have to put in there and adjust. Love that. I just went online real quick on my phone and saw that Razor makes a Dirt Quad 500 that's comparable to this. Same battery size, amp hour. It's actually quite a bit more. It's $760. This right here is $580 delivered to your door. So it's a huge speed difference. Everybody wants it fast. Everybody wants speed. Well, that Razor only goes 9 miles an hour. This does 15, middle section does 10, and the slow starter position does 6 miles an hour. So what I'm basically saying is this is your best bang for your buck. You're getting rubber tires, a solid axle with a suspension, and you're getting front suspension, independent A-arms with 2 shocks. The Razor is rigid, so it is not off-road worthy at all like that. It's a little bit different design, but there is no suspension. This has suspension, and it's a good-looking miniature quad. It's a little small, you know, but it's for kids 8 and up. I'm an adult. I can ride it. You know, I'm a little bit over the 165-pound weight limit, but tooling around the pits would not be a problem. Okay, on to the other features. It has a rear disc brake, and I did not expect this. This is the front brakes, and it actually has 2 mechanical disc brakes on the front. And I didn't test it. I wonder if it'll do a nosy. Trust us, we're going to find out. Okay, that is pretty much all of the features. The shocks are a bit stiff. My son's only 60 pounds and he can't even get this to flex. So it wouldn't be a bad idea to look into upgrades. I mean, for a ready to run, this thing is phenomenal. And it also has the upgraded brushless motor, guys. That is key. People don't really think about that, but that is more efficient, more powerful, smoother. The only negative to brushless is they don't like water. It looks like they've done a good job of water resisting it, but I would not say that your kid could be riding through puddles and you wouldn't smoke a motor or the speed controller. So stay away from water, guys. Okay, love this thing, but I'm unbiased, and here's my one gripe about the thing is the quality of this rear sprocket kind of sucks. It's not perfectly round, so that when the chain goes around, you can see right here, it's just got a little bit of movement, which is about perfect. I should know, I'm a crew chief for a go-kart racer, and when you spin it, it binds right there, and you see how that there's zero flex in the chain. So what that's doing is it's putting excess strain on that motor. It's going to slow it down a little bit, but this chain will probably stretch, and we did what we could to adjust it here. But yeah, so right there, I mean, it is stiff. And right here, it's about perfect. So, because what we do is take things that are stock, we find their flaws, and we upgrade them. I'm still going to contact Ron over there and see what he says about this sprocket. I'm definitely not knocking this product, but it's not right. And that's the way it came out of the box. So that's my one gripe. It could use a little bit more precision or quality control. But again, it's just a stamped gear. It's not a precision aluminum gear. So I'm going to see what I can find. And that's pretty much it. So